I'm so glad you're joining me. I've got a lot to share with you about my upcoming group that will help you or someone you know who might be contemplating or going through a separation or divorce. If you're here because that's your own life, my heart goes out to you. I'm here to help. And I'm going to give you some guidance today and then show you how you can get more. And if you're a professional, a therapist or coach or counselor or clergy who works with individuals or couples who are in this situation, I want to give you the tools that you can use for your clients and also talk to you about how you can join me in this endeavor. So I've got some slides. I'm going to turn them on, and here we go. So first of all, I'm inviting you to relax. Take a deep breath with me here. Truly, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, let's just take 20 minutes if we can and see if today can be the beginning of the rest of your life. That's my hope for you. So I came up with the acronym WEDS, WEDS, going from WED to WEDS, and realized that it's not only for women who are contemplating or going through a separation or divorce, but it's also for people, women who are contemplating it. So I also put the Women's Empowered Decision out there because it helps you decide what you want to do in this limbo state. So hopefully you can hear me. You can put any comments you want. If you're joining live and want to say hi, I'll know that you are here. And if for any reason you have to leave early, if you want to put chat in the links or send me a direct message to chat, I'll show you how we can chat in person to see if this is something that would add something to your life or to the lives of your clients. So here's the thing to start with. You don't have to feel alone wondering what to do next. You don't have to lose sleep when you're thinking about the future. You don't have to feel lonely and sad and angry, unappreciated, hopeless, helpless, be heartbroken and worried about your children, and watch your work suffer due to the stress and anxiety. And I know from my own life, I was married to my college sweetheart. And even though I was an attorney, I became a mediator to help us communicate. I later became a therapist. And even with all those skills, I couldn't have the divorce that I wanted. It was acrimonious, it was painful, and it taught me a lot about what not to do. And I gave a lot of groups for women for many years. I've had individual clients and couples clients. I have male clients too, that go through a process where you lose your bearings on what is your life supposed to be like now, because you know what it was before, but you don't know what's happening next. And in that suspension of the life you knew to what's coming next, there is such a sense of fear. There is such a lack of safety. You get to a point where there's a part of you that wants to leave, a part of you that wants to stay, parts that are angry, parts that are hopeful, parts that are scared, worried, finances, kids, house. Take a breath with me here. I wrote a book and then I created an online program. But what I realized from working with many women over many years, that having some sustained support is what's important. So I'm creating the Women's Empowered Divorce Support Community, or the Women's Empowered Decision Support Community, that's going to start soon. And I want to introduce you to all the concepts and why it's going to be helpful. Because when you're feeling so alone, when you realize that you were looking to create a future with someone that you promised to love forever and ever, and then the dream is dashed. And it's often the dream that's the hardest to let go of. Oftentimes in a relationship, we let go of the man, then we let go of the relationship. But giving up the dream is really painful. So what you need to do is realize that no matter how you're struggling on what to do, how to communicate, how you're feeling, you don't have to keep pretending. You don't have to hold up your frustrations, your resentments, your judgments, and hide behind a box of pretense any longer, because you can take proactive steps in your future. And with my background as a therapist, mediator, attorney, Chopra Certified Teacher of Meditation, Yoga, and Ayurveda, I want to give you the benefit of everything that I've learned in my 35 years of practice and everything I learned through my own painful, long, acrimonious divorce, and especially what I've learned about helping people navigate this time with as much grace kindness, and compassion as possible. And that's what I want for you. So I love this little thing. Have you ever said you were just fine when you weren't because some people wouldn't understand? And speaking of that, when we are in this situation, we look for people that we can share with. So we talk to our friends, we talk to our family, we talk to a lot of people who eventually don't know what else to do. They don't know how to help. They see you spinning. They probably wish you either had a therapist or a group or someplace where you could go where you would feel understood. And that's why I've created this community. I want you to feel that when you log on, and it's online, so wherever you are in the world, you can find it, that when you log into a meeting or a Facebook group, or you get a handout or a video sent to you, that you are being held, you're being seen, you're being supported, you're being inspired. Because whoever joins this community, I will know personally. I will help you personally. And so will the other people in the group. And this group is going to be intimate, confidential, supportive, inspiring. And most of all, it's going to help people take the time you need to heal what you need to heal and then move through the process with as much grace as possible, whatever that process means. Because sometimes when you do your own work and your own healing, you can create a new relationship with your partner that doesn't have to end. But I'll save that for later. And another cartoon I liked was this one. I am a strong person, but once in a while, I need someone to hug me and tell me everything is going to be okay. And that is how I see my role for you in this. I know when I first got divorced, like I said, I was married to my college sweetheart. We got separated after 20 years, and 10 years later, after a 10-year separation, we got divorced. And all along that time, I kept feeling that I wished I had a D in the middle of my forehead. I wished when I went out in public, people would realize I was going through a separation or divorce and would treat me more kindly, because my heart was breaking. The life as I knew it was over. I hadn't all the degrees that I now have, so I had to go back to school. But I remember feeling very alone and very scared. At the same time, for different reasons, I was going to Al-Anon meetings. And in those meetings, sometimes what I would do was sit next to the Kleenex and cry. They were live then, they're online now. But it was a supportive community where everybody in that community knew exactly how I was feeling. I didn't have to put any pretense on. If I wanted a hug, I could ask for a hug, virtual or in person. And that's what I want to offer you. As a mother, as a grandmother, as somebody who's been through it, I want to offer my heart to your heart. There's a lot I could tell you. There's a lot I could teach you. I have an online program called the Compassionate Mediation Program. That's 6 hours of videos and handouts. And it's included in this community when you join, because you have access to all the legal information, financial information, emotional and spiritual healing, along with legal and financial information and support. That's what I want for you. That's what I'm offering. And the virtual hugs feel good too. Because as you know, divorce is painful. Everything that you have to decide on, the house, the children, the money, the loss of dreams, the grieving, the relationship with friends, the relationship with extended family, all of that is like blow after blow after blow. And I know you're strong, and I know you can do it on your own, and you can, but you don't have to, because this community is going to be available. It's going to be available soon, and I'd love to tell you more about it. Again, if you have to leave, put chat in the comments, and I will get back to you with how we can connect so you can learn more. Because I wrote the book Compassionate Mediation exactly for this. For people, it's actually compassionate mediation, how to add passion to your marriage or compassion to your divorce. And the reason that I wrote it is because I realized that many times in a relationship, one or both people don't know what they want to do, and they stay in limbo for a very long time. Do I want to stay? Do I want to leave? What would it be like if I left? And instead of making a decision one way or the other, they stay stuck. So in compassionate mediation, it gives you the opportunity, and this is in the WEDS program community, it gives you the opportunity to learn how to be your best self, which you're probably not being right now. You may be reactive, defensive, walled, angry, judgmental, shut down, stressed. Deep breath. My heart goes out to you. I was there. I know the feeling. You may be feeling all those things right now, and you're not really showing up as your best self. So you learn to do that. And that's what we help you do in the community. Then you create a compassionate relationship, whether you're contemplating a divorce, whether you're in the middle of a separation, or even if you're in a contentious divorce. I've worked with one woman who was in my group a long time ago, and she read the settlement prayer that is part of the process that I gave to my husband the night before we got divorced. She read it to her husband, and they sat down and they created their own dissolution agreement from their hearts. So that's what I want to offer you, because even if you're getting divorced, even if you're in the middle of a contentious divorce, creating a compassionate relationship is important. And part of that is one of my clients right now is coming to see me, and she actually asked her husband to come too, because they've in mediation, they've stalled and they can't communicate. And what I realize is they're both so hurt that they don't know how to give each other the empathy they need to really heal and move forward. And that's what you take the time to do in this program, in this community, to be your best self, create a compassionate relationship, and take the time to explore your options, because you're going to have lots of options. And if you're listening if your angry part is talking to you or your scared part is talking to you, you're not really going to be making a self-led decision. We're going to talk more about that. So when you're talking about a separation or divorce, there's issues of what you're going to do about the house, which brings up a lot of issues. Often the house becomes the biggest pain of losing because it represents a true ending. So helping you talk about that, look at your options, explore how to communicate with compassion. That's what I want to help you do. And the community is going to be helpful, not just to you, but to your children. And I love this picture because it is an emotional tug. When you are having conflict, even if it's quiet, even if you're withholding anger and just shutting down, your children are marinating in that energy. And I always say the biggest gift we can give our children is to spare them from the shrapnel of our animosity. So avoiding the conflict, healing the conflict, finding a way to have communication that's respectful and empowered. That's what you're going to do in this community, because your children don't have to suffer. You don't have to suffer, because help is here. And when you have to decide about the house and about money, all of those decisions take so much energy, feel so confusing. And all of that is in my program as to how to figure it out, how to deal with it, how to talk about it. So you don't have to get stuck, because I like to say that when you are in this community, it's like having a therapist, mediator, attorney, and spiritual coach in your back pocket, which is me, because I am all those things. And we talk about the feelings. We talk about how to look at this opportunity as an opportunity for spiritual growth. Sometimes, as they say, life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. What are you supposed to learn here? How have you been in the relationship that may need to change moving forward? Have you been codependent? Have you been too compliant? Have you been too angry and judgmental? So you take a look at your own contribution so that you can make the changes you need to make. And then when you do that, you can believe that even though you feel you might be sinking, don't just float, flower. So what does that mean? Well, a lot of times people decide, I don't know what to do, and I only see a black and white option. I only see staying where I am, which doesn't feel good, or I see getting divorced, which doesn't feel good. So you stay stuck and you avoid, and you eat too much, or you drink too much, or you shop too much, or you go have an affair. You do something to numb rather than be with what you're feeling. If you join this community, we will be there for you to keep processing your innermost feelings, so you don't have to hide them from yourself and act out in ways that cause more harm to you or your family than it needs to. So you can flower in this community, because here's what you need to know. I'm going to offer what you need to know about the community and also beyond that. So take a deep breath with me here in this beautiful scene, the Pacific Ocean. The first thing we learn is compassionate communication, how to communicate from your best self, let go of your limiting beliefs and judgments, unburden pain from the past, and relate from your heart. We do all that in the community because I do believe, and I've said it many times, that families need not be broken, but can be peacefully and respectfully restructured. So consider what it would be like if your family was peacefully and respectfully restructured, where you had two loving homes, where your children felt safe, where you give each other respect, where your parenting agreement becomes one where you don't have to look at it. You just put it in a drawer and you communicate in such a way that you share parenting and give each other the right of first refusal when you can't be together, when you can't be with your child on the appointed time. And you can do things together. You can have holidays together. I have clients who have Christmas parties after they've been divorced. They go on their child's college parent weekend. They've even stayed in the same room if they didn't have other partners. But there's a way to end a relationship and begin a new one that creates a new beginning that's even better than the dysfunction that you were living in. So learning how to compassionately communicate is part of that process. Take a deep breath with me here. And when I saw this note, I thought your dream doesn't have an expiration date. Well, sadly, your marriage may have an expiration date. You may decide that for whatever reason, after you've come from your best self, created a compassionate relationship, explored your options, understood your rights and finances, which is also part of the community, that you're just not compatible. But there's a way to allow yourself to dream a different dream and learn from the relationship that you had all that you can learn from it. Have the children and be grateful. And sometimes I talk about putting a spiritual graft, G-R-A-F-T, on our ego's wounds. Because a lot of times the pain and suffering that we have is because our egos are disappointed. He should be different. This was not supposed to happen. My expectations were dashed. I'm not in control. Blame, judgment. Someone once said expectations are premeditated resentments. So you may be sitting in that right now and feeling mad and sad and hurt and angry and get me out of here. Deep breath. Let's try this spiritual graft. If you take nothing away today, try this. If you look at your situation with G-R-A-F-T, ready? G is gratitude. Take a moment to be grateful. If you have children, be grateful for your children. If you have a roof over your head, be grateful for that. If you have assets that you both have created over the years, be grateful for that. And in the gratitude, that would mitigate some of the anger and the resentment and the judgment and the blame and the guilt. We'll talk about that in a minute. So put gratitude at the top of the list. The R-A of graft is radical acceptance, meaning instead of wishing it were different, making him be different, being mad at yourself for not being different, radically accept that this is the situation now. It might be painful, it might be confusing, but if you don't rail against it, but just accept it, then you can move through it. The F in graft, gratitude, radical acceptance, is forgiveness. Take a deep breath with me here. And what I find with a lot of my clients, they can't forgive their partners because they won't forgive themselves. So if that's you, if you're judging yourself for how long you've stayed, or the red flags that you've missed, or the opportunities that you felt you lost, or anything that isn't totally self-loving and self-accepting, forgive yourself. You have done the best you knew how to do. And so has your partner. And recognizing that you've both done the best you know how to do allows a new beginning. And that's where the T comes in. The T is trust. So take a deep breath, because often when you get to this place where you're not sure what you want to do, or you're in the middle of a separation or divorce, you're not trusting. You don't trust your own judgment. You certainly don't trust your partner. But if you can move into trusting God, higher power, universe, your therapist, this group, you will find more peace. So when you're grateful, radically accepting, practicing forgiveness, and trusting, take a deep breath with me here. Try to overlay that today onto whatever situation you're looking at, and it will make it a little better. And if you want to fake it till you make it, that's okay too. Because you can create a life that feels good on the inside. And that's what we're doing. What the Woman's Empowered Group is doing is creating a new self-leadership on the inside, no matter what your partner does. Because when you're coming from your higher self, you can heal your parts, you can unburden your parts, and you can show up with more calm, compassion, courage, confidence. That's all by being part of this group. And Gandhi says you can be the change you hope to see in the world. Being in this group will help you be the change you hope to see in your relationship, because you're going to change. And if you've tried to change your partner for years and he won't change because you're powerless over someone else, when you change your behavior and stop complaining and stop threatening and stop withholding and stop judging and stop blaming, deep breath. You learn to ask for what you want to need. You learn the 5 steps to get what you want to need. And here they are. You ready? First one is know what you want to need. Second is know you deserve it. Third is ask. Fourth, receive and be grateful. Because many times, many of my clients are codependent. We spend a lifetime taking care of everyone else. And when it comes time to know what we want to need, we forget. So making a list of what you do want instead of what you don't want will be helpful. The second part is know you deserve it. And sadly, a lot of my clients drop the ball on this one, whether it's family of origin issues, inner child issues, prior relationship issues, or even the issues in their current relationship. They've kind of lost their sense of self, and they need to know that they deserve to have what they want and need. Because when you know what you want and need and know you deserve it, you can ask for it. And the ask becomes a request. It's not a whine. It's not a demand. It's not an ultimatum. It's just, this is what I want and need. And then you see if the other person is ready to give it to you or not. And if they are, you receive it and you stay grateful. So those are the 5 steps. And if you do the 5 steps along with the spiritual graft, and that's all you get out of this today, I hope it helps. But I'd love to explore with you what it would mean to be part of this community. What I help you do and what the community helps you do is be your best self. And I'm an internal family systems therapist, and Dick Schwartz and all my colleagues talk about self as being that calm, clear, compassionate center, where we're also curious, connected, creative, confident, courageous, and I add grateful, because when we're grateful, we're more in self. And when you bring that version of yourself to your relationship, you heal the past. Because I'll bring out my dolls just briefly. All right, so here we go. We each have an inner child, right? And oftentimes a guy tries to look cool, and a woman often, it could be gender-based, but one of the parties could be codependent. This is my codependent doll. She looked exhausted when I got her. So you try to take care of everybody, and then when your needs aren't met, you get angry or you get reactive, and you decide to fight it out and get divorced. Deep breath with me here. All your parts are protective, even these guys. And they say silly things and they say hurtful things. And they're saying it because they don't know how to put their defenses down. Stop trying to be cool. Stop trying to be codependent. And really speak from their heart, from your heart, to your partner about your fear, your sadness, your pain. And then they don't talk to you about it either. And you just kind of have to referee your parts. So again, when you are more in self, you show up with this energy. And imagine what it's like to bring that energy into your relationship to make changes. And treating yourself like you've treated others is the best self-care you can give. So this group is going to remind you about the importance of self-care. Whether you meditate, journal, take walks, talk to a friend, cry, there's so much you can do for your own self-care. And this is a reminder to make that your priority, no matter what else is going on. And then it's going to invite you to forgive yourself and your partner. Right now, that might seem hard, which is why I want to help you in the group. You practice the miracle of empathy, which we talk about in the group, where you use I messages about your sadness and your hurt and your fear instead of you messages that sound blaming and judgmental. And you be kind to the inner child in each of you. You realize you're talking to the inner child, even though you're seeing the gorilla or the mad person. So remember, you can forgive yourself, practice the miracle of empathy, be kind to the inner child in each of you, and move through whatever process you're moving through, the decision to separate or divorce, an actual separation, a divorce, or even past a divorce. Because there's a lot of people that are still suffering from the divorce that they finalized years ago. And whenever they think about their ex-partner or in their presence, they're stressed, they're anxious, there's an attitude. You don't have to feel that way. Come join the group and we'll help you bring your best self no matter what your partner is doing, because you're going to realize that no matter how distant and apart you feel, you both have an inner child yearning to be seen, appreciated, attended to, acknowledged, the four needs of the heart. The four needs of the heart are attention, affection, appreciation, and acceptance. And even if you can't love your partner the way you once thought you were going to forever, you can create a respectful parting that allows you to acknowledge and accept and have affection for the friendship that you can create together, and give each of you the attention you need to feel seen and not misjudged or neglected or abandoned. So attention, affection, appreciation, acceptance can move you into the next chapter of your life, whatever that's going to look like. And I'm hoping it's going to be filled with empathy, connection, compassion, self-empathy, because that's what you need more than anything else. And that's what I want to give you in the group. Because when you share empathy, it starts with empathy for yourself. My friend Sark always says that she's a full cup of love sharing her overflow with the world. Isn't that lovely? I want you to be a full cup of compassion for yourself, and then share that compassion. But start with yourself. Be compassionate to whatever you're feeling now. The confusion, the hurt, the sadness, the anger, the resentment, the judgment, the hopelessness, the helplessness. Be deep breath. Be compassionate and find support, which is what I want to offer in the WEDS group. Because as I believe, together everyone achieves more. If you go to lindakroll.com WEDS, you can sign up, and if I have time, there will be some spaces where we can talk to see if this is a fit for you, because we do achieve more in community. We do have a way, and because I am now I am a 77-year-old computer nerd that actually knows how to do all this stuff, which is why I'm offered community. I used to have a community in person, and now I find that being in community allows you to see yourself through the lens of other people, allows you to find wisdom that you can share with others and that you can hear from others in a way that individual therapy might not give you. I often say to my clients that if they come and want to just tell me their story, I can listen, but nothing will really change, because I want to give you an opportunity to see your perspective from a higher level of consciousness, to see your situation as something that will help you grow and learn and heal. Because when you do that, you are free. So finding other people that can be part of this community and knowing that you have support online, and you can do it from your home. You can do it from your office at lunchtime. You can do it on a yoga mat. You can just bring yourself to feel the support, the love, the sharing, the information. I like to say, not only are you going to get emotional and spiritual healing, but legal and financial information and support. But it's also a haven. It's a haven for finding friendship, for finding camaraderie, for finding connection. Your friends love you. Your family loves you. They don't know what to do to help you. They might be tired of listening. You might be tired of sharing because it's the same loop that you're in. But when you're in a community, you get a different vantage point. You get a more expanded vantage point, a more elevated vantage point that allows you to respond in a different way. I wrote the book, Compassionate Mediation. I also wrote Compassionate Divorce. And if you want to, here is a screenshot of some ways you can reach me. You can get a free chapter of Compassionate Mediation at lindakrollbook.com. And for those of you who are practitioners, you can get a roadmap of my whole process that I'm talking about at lindakroll.com roadmap. So those are two ways to reach me. I also wanted to talk to you about the opportunity to learn from me, because I do have a compassionate mediation training and certification. So if you are a therapist or coach who would like to be part of this community, who would like to offer your expertise and help coach other people, please chat with me so I can let you know more about how to do that. You can quickly go to lindakroll.com roadmap and get a roadmap of the process, which will lead you to a opportunity to sign up for a call with me. And if you are also looking, hold on, let me find the roadmap. You can go to WEDS for sure and sign up there. And if I have time, I will book a call with you. And then if you go to lindakroll.com/roadmap, if you're a practitioner, that's going to give you the overview of my whole process to see if it's something you'd like to fit into your practice. Because the reality is, we all want peace. That's what we're looking for. Peace in the middle of a very challenging time. Peace in the middle of grieving. Peace in the middle of challenges. So as you're looking for peace, the more you practice self-leadership, the more you practice self-compassion, the more you surround yourself with the right information, support, guidance, love, connection, the more you will heal, and the more you will make empowered, informed, enlightened decisions for your future. So you are each a beautiful butterfly, and you're each going to grow beautifully in your own way. And the butterfly analogy is one that I love for many reasons. And the reason that I love the butterfly analogy is because for a long time, I believe we're all caterpillars in our lives, living our lives. And then the rug is pulled out from under us. Illness, death, divorce, some major life experience obliterates life as we knew it. And then we go into grieving and we go into our cocoon. And in the cocoon, it feels so dark. It feels so lonely. It feels so scary. And when you're in that cocoon, knowing that you're going to come out of it a butterfly allows you to be peacefully in the cocoon, to move through and grow. And that's what I want to help you do. So if you're watching this for your own sake, please go to lindakroll.com WEDS and connect with me so that I can see if this is going to be a fit for you. We are going to be starting soon, and you'll be a founding member of this brand new group. And as a founding member, it's going to be a great offer to start with. So you want to get in soon. And we'll be starting to have groups online, and you'll be able to ask me anything. There'll be the Compassionate Mediation program that will give you the overview of everything you need to know if you're thinking of or going through a divorce, or wondering what to do next, or even past a divorce and wondering how to heal. And it will give you also a connection for my Heart-Centered Connections meeting, where we process our feelings in a way that leads to healing. So this group, I might say, is not for you if you feel that you're waiting for your ex to change. If you're feeling that your ex is to blame and all you want to do is vent, this is not going to be the group for you. There is room for processing, there is room for sharing, but this group is going to be a group of heart-centered women of different ages from different parts of the country or the world, who are all invested in their own healing, in their own personal and spiritual growth, in taking the best care of themselves, their children, and their restructured family as possible. and you're going to be inspired by these people. You're going to feel connected. You're going to feel supported. You're going to feel safe, seen, heard, and held. That's what I want for you. And if you're a professional, I'd love to have you check it out, because I could use your help in both spreading the word as an affiliate, which I can talk to you about, or joining me as a coach, or even getting certified in compassionate mediation. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I'm so grateful you were here, and to be continued. So lindakroll.com weds or lindakroll.com roadmap, and we'll be connected. And I'll talk with you soon. Thanks so much. Bye for now.